when you join the Community Pay It Forward family. Your business can be seen because people know your business will offer hope to organizations like Todd Lingle of CARES Foundation. CARES Foundation is a proud mission partner of Community Pay It Forward. CARES Foundation is dedicated to educating young drivers of the dangers of impaired and distracted driving. Every sale through Community Pay It Forward helps support incredible organizations like the CARES Foundation.
Hello, world. My name is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer, and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has the potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zak Clayton. Mission for Healthy Heroes is more than just a broadcast. It's a commitment to the people who put their well-being aside so the rest of us can live a safer, healthier life. On Sunday, February 22nd, we're hosting a 22-hour event filled with stories, resources, and conversations that truly matter. And I'm asking you for something simple but meaningful. Just 22 minutes. 22 minutes to watch, 22 minutes to participate, 22 minutes to show our heroes they're not alone. Scan the QR code for details, mark your calendar for February 22nd, and join us in lifting up people who always lift us.
Born into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her life, left at night, stepping out of her fear. Bring me home, out alone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Community Impact, where real stories meet real solutions, and every challenge becomes a chance for us to come together. I'm your host, Zak Clayton, and today we're diving into something that affects every single one of us. Those moments in life when things fall apart and we feel stuck, when we don't know who to call or where to turn. But here's the good news: you're never alone. And today we're going to talk about how the Come Together Compass can turn a crisis into a connection and a problem into a path forward. Let's start with the situations that happen every day, like in communities just like ours. Imagine this: a single mom wakes up to get her kids ready for school. She goes to start her car, and nothing. A dead battery. No savings, no backup plan, no family nearby. She's already missed too many days at work. One or more absence could cost her her job. She depends on desperately. And folks, we all know this situation because when you're a single parent, you have to have those day offs available to you because kids are kids. They're not exactly the healthiest um, breed and living breed there is. You know, they don't they don't have any care in the world until they have every care in the world. So, um, but when you don't have those days off or your boss is on your ass, you know, it gets dangerous for people. And we know that there's a lot of people who say that's life, but around here, we don't accept that. Around here, we say that's a moment for the community. And that's exactly where the Come Together Compass steps in. When the compass is ready, Maria can go to the compass. She clicks on the Dare to Care resource exchange. She finds a local business willing to help with a battery installation. She finds a neighbor offering rides until payday. She finds a nonprofit that can help with groceries so she can breathe for just a minute. And suddenly, she's not drowning anymore. She's supported. She's seen. She's part of a community that refuses to let her fall through the cracks. That's what the Come Together Compass does. It doesn't just point north, it points to hope. We can solve so many problems if we know what is needed. Now, I don't want to go any further without saying this. The compass is only going to work if you are careful. Don't put yourself ever into difficult situations. I know we talked about somebody in the community, um, giving you a ride, but you've got to make sure it's somebody that you trust. But this is a chance for somebody to sit there and go, you know what? I have a sister in your neighborhood. Maybe you know her. Let me call her. She can give you a ride. We are going to come up with ways that this can safely be done. There's a way for everyone to be safely taken care of. So please work with us. Now, why does this matter now? Well, we're living in a time where people feel more isolated than ever, more overwhelmed than ever. Think about it, don't you? More disconnected than ever. The truth is, solutions are already here in our neighborhoods, our businesses, our nonprofits, and our families. The compass simply brings them together. And that's why this show matters. Because when we share stories like Maria's, we remind people that the community isn't a slogan, it's a lifeline. When we say community pay it forward, we mean that people everywhere are in our community and we can tie everyone in together. So please join with us in supporting the Come Together Compass. You can do that by scanning the QR code up here in the corner. You can buy a ticket to the Wheel of Giving. And when you buy the ticket to a Wheel of Giving, you can win a prize like our dear friend giving a 1 hour tarot reading, Lynn Cebulski.
Hi, my name is Lynn Cebulski, and I'm a giving partner on the Community Pay It Forward program. You may recognize me from Lynn's Day, which is a monthly feature on the third Wednesday where I read live tarot for whoever wants to join us. And so I thought I would take a minute and talk about tarot readings in the context of mental health, because as it turns out, there is a conversation to be had there. So briefly, what the science shows us is that for people who suffer from depression, PTSD, and other mental health issues, their brains undergo physiological changes. There are areas that become less connected, there are areas that shrink, there are areas that become overactive. What science also shows us is that spirituality acts as a protective mechanism for these same structures in the brain. What am I saying? I'm saying that for people who consider themselves spiritual, religious, who have some sort of belief system that is spiritual or religious or mystical, for those people, their brains show the opposite. Their structures are growing and expanding instead of shrinking. Their connections are increased. Their activity is normal versus overactive. And so in the context of tarot readings, if someone is receiving a reading and they're having an experience that is powerful and profound and speaks to their spiritual or religious beliefs, that shift in perspective that they experience during that reading, those moments of wonder and awe, specifically target the areas of the brain that are damaged from stress and trauma. And so by creating a dramatic shift in the way someone perceives themselves or their world or their situation, something like a tarot reading actually can set someone up for future improved mental health outcomes. So is there a woo-woo element to tarot? Absolutely. But there is also a scientific element that says a tarot reading can be good for you. Thanks for listening.
So, see, right now, this is actually a perfect time if you do think tarot reading is the woo woo and that's all it is. This is a perfect time for you to take and purchase a spin. And what's going to happen is during the show, a couple times during the show, we're going to take and we're going to put your name on there for every $10. And if it lands on Lynn's square, you're going to win, or if it lands during Lynn's segment, I'm sorry, you will win a prize, the 1 hour reading. But you can also join her every third Wednesday night at 8 p.m. East, right here on the PAC channel, right where you're watching us from right now. And she gives free readings every third Wednesday night. So we love having her as a partner. We love having her in the program. So, speaking of lifelines, we need to talk about something urgent, something important, and something that cannot wait. We are just weeks away from the fourth annual Mission for Healthy Heroes, a 22-hour broadcast dedicated to veterans first, responders, healthcare workers, teachers, and service heroes who give everything and often receive very little in return. And I really just sounded like AI there. First, responders. So please forgive me. And right now we're facing a serious challenge. We need participants. We need storytellers. We need voices. In short, we need you. Let me be completely honest with you. This mission only works if people step forward. We need veterans willing to share their journey, nurses and doctors who have seen the cost of caring, teachers who've held classrooms together with heart and duct tape, firefighters and EMTs who've carried the weight of other people's worst days, police officers who have done the right thing when no one's watching, family members who have lifted the ripple effect, who have lived the ripple effects, advocates, counselors, and healers who can offer insights and hope. We need the stories of courage, stories of struggle, stories of healing, and stories of humanity. Because these people hear these stories, because when people hear these stories, they don't just listen, they learn. They don't just sympathize, they understand. And understanding is the first step towards change. Very sorry about the dogs. Someone must be walking out in front of the house, and my dogs think that they can get to them from the office, which is in the basement, which makes absolutely no sense. So, okay, and for anyone who's wondering, what would I even talk about? Well, let me make it simple. Here are some of the topics we're inviting people to share. The moments you can realize, the moments you realized you needed help, and what happened next. Okay, sorry about that. Got the dogs under control, I hope. We'll see how well this works. But what are we looking for when people when we're asking people to speak? That moment when you realized you needed help. And what happened next? What worked? What didn't work? What did you want to try and wish you could have found? See, that last one is so important because this is what we can do. We can tell people what you think would have helped you out if you could have found somebody who provided that service. And what can happen is somebody who provides that service could step up at this moment and go, we're here for the next person. No, maybe it's a little late to help you. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a situation where you can stand up and go, we got past it to a point, but there's still this lingering effect that you could really help us with. So that's something that you could definitely help us by just speaking about your situations. What about the unseen emotional toll of serving others? I've talked to doctors. I've talked to nurses. I've talked to my buddy Scott uh, with O'Sullivan Law Firm. I've talked to counselors, and there is there's so much of a toll that your body takes on when you're trying to help others. And the amazing thing about our heroes is this is a toll that they are willing to take on. They don't complain about it. They don't Most of the time they don't even let people know. We need people to come on and tell us about this. It's so important just to get it out there so others who are struggling with things that you've struggled with before can understand that they are not alone. What about the one call, the one shift, or one experience that changed everything for you? This is a perfect thing to talk about. And we're talking positive or negative. Again, we do not want to hide anything. We want this out on the table so we can try to bring support to people. business owners, nonprofits, they start business. They start businesses and nonprofits from heartbreak. Your story of healing doesn't end with the beginning of the story. It can't. Your story of healing has to come with steps that you went through. Wow, that was a weird noise by dogs. It has to include steps that you took to begin the healing. Help share us with that. Help share that with us. Sorry, this dog is gonna. Yeah. How trauma shows up in everyday life. As a person who has a head injury, I know what it's like to every day wake up and not know exactly what the day's going to hold in front of me. Want to know a secret? You know that too. Regardless if you have a head injury or not, every single day, none of us know what's going to happen on that day. We know what we plan for that day, but none of us can look forward and see exactly how the day's going to line up. How is the trauma that I went through going to affect me today? If it's going to affect me today, you can help us answer that question. In my life, what does support look like? And what should it look like? Again, your story could result in someone else's healing, but only if your story gets told. Look, we want to hear stories of resilience, recovery, and rebuilding. The role of your community in healing. Expanded community, close community, friends, family, neighbors, people you never met before. What about what you wish the world understood about your profession? How many times have you said in your life, God, if people just understood what we went through every day, here's a chance to tell people. One thing that's very important, how families carry weight alongside their heroes, because I've said it over and over and over again. No one suffers alone. Everyone has a family member that's standing right beside them, going through the same hell that person's going through. Look, there's going to be a little bit of an interview factor in this, but these aren't interviews. These are conversations, real, honest, human conversations that can save lives. See, here's what I'm asking you. Not as a host, not as an organizer, but as a fellow human being who believes in the power of community. If you have a story, if you have a message, if you have a voice, we need you. Reach out, sign up, QR code's right here. Reach out, sign up, and join us. Be part of the Mission for Healthy Heroes on February 22nd, because your story might be the one that helps someone else take their first step toward healing. Imagine you're part of someone's healing. You may never even know it. That's what every day could be like. All right, I want to thank you all very much for joining me today for Community Impact. We don't just want to talk about problems. We want to build solutions. Today we talked about how Come Together Compass turns everyday crisis into community victories. The compass is going to be so important in everyday life. It could have something to do with, we're looking for something today to do today or this weekend with the family. Oh, look at this. We've got an event coming up in our area that supports this thing that we all love. How wonderful is that? I've got an extra $20. I could buy the diapers for this single mother. We can make a lot of change together. If you want to get involved, if you want to share your story, if you want the support of the mission, visit communitypayitforward.us or email me directly at zak@communitypayitforward.us. That's ZAK at communitypayitforward.us. Well, together we can lift each other up. Together we can heal. Together we will make an impact. It's just so much easier to do it together. Thank you for joining me. Let's go out and do some good today, huh? Please make sure you love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. My name is Zak Clayton with Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Please join us and people like our dear friend Aviva from Mission for Healthy Heroes.
In energy work, energy psychology, you're helping a person understand. We can get a little closer to what that pain is without being overwhelmed, without being frightened, and we can sort of look at it and take care of it. Because the whole thing about PTSD and other avoidance or difficulty in handling a memory is that we're trying to not see it. We're trying to just say, stay over there, stay back there, stay under the surface. And that in itself causes a lot of problems because nature wants to heal. There's healing inherent in nature. So
For 22 hours, we show up, not for fame, not for applause, but for the ones who wake up every day and put everyone else first.
This is our 4th year. 22 continuous hours of real conversations, real stories, real hope. Voices that refuse to be silent. Hearts that refuse to quit.
Some are exhausted, some are hurting, some are carrying the weight of the world quietly, while still showing up for others. This podcast is for them.
On Sunday, February 22nd, starting at 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific, we go live for 22 straight hours to raise funds, raise awareness, and remind people they are not alone. If you've ever felt unseen, if you've ever given more than you had, if you believe compassion still matters.
This is your moment to stand with us. Listen, share, support. Because when we come together, hope gets louder, strength multiplies. Real heroes don't wear capes. They just keep showing up, tired, unseen, and still giving.
Join us live. Sunday, February 22nd, 4 a.m. East, 1 a.m. Pacific. Show up for those who never stop showing up for others.
Because no one needs to go it alone. When we all
come together.
Say, bring me home. wanna hold the heart of Sunset Boulevard. Bring me here, 'cause it's not quite clear to be a part of Sunset Boulevard.